Hi everybody, my name is Jo and I love to read. Today I'm going to be talking about my feelings and my TBR and just how I'm going with 15 months on from a Zero TBR. This is potentially going to be the last check-in video in this Zero TBR series. I have a bunch of other videos that I will link down below that document me getting to a Zero TBR, the final book that I read and all my excited, crazy reactions from that, my live reactions from that. I also have a video that talks about straight after that where I do a bit more of a roundup on how I got such a big TBR and documents how I ended up working it down to zero. I am actually planning on a bit of a guide to getting your TBR to zero because I do get a bit of questions on that video as to how I achieved it, so that one will be coming out sometime probably next year. When I finished my Zero TBR, my first sort of thoughts were it wasn't as freeing as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to feel amazing and that the book buying gods was shining down on me now, but it really wasn't. It felt really weird, kind of like I'd been let out of prison, but I was still a bit like, oh, is the law going to catch me? I feel a bit guilty still. I don't know if I'm quite free. It was quite odd stepping into a bookshop and buying something for the first time again. It wasn't a relaxing or as fun of an experience as I wanted to be. It got a little bit better soon after that when I bought some books online, but overall it just wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. I did another video at 6 months, which is the previous one to this one, where I recapped how I was feeling. I was actually kind of struggling there to find my path and how to balance being a mood reader but also someone who lives in a small town, and I can't necessarily just go to a big bookshop that's going to have the books that I want to read in the editions that I want to read, because that also does matter to me. And I also watch a lot of US book content, so what necessarily is popular over there in the US, unless it's super popular, it's not necessarily going to be popular in Australia, so it's hard. And I read a lot of backlists too, so that is also really hard. So then being a mood reader, how do I buy something online and then trust that I'm still going to want to read it by the time that it gets here? I am doing this 15-month recap, and 15 months is a bit odd. I could have done 18 months, that's a bit more rounder, but I really wanted to film this now, and it has been 15 months because it was August last year. But you know, it's also super cool because I'm planning to put this video out on the weekend that my sister is getting married, and she's my older sister and she's older by 15 months. So that's kind of cool as well, that symmetry in my life. How am I going? How am I feeling? I'm feeling good, actually. I'm feeling really, really good. This is my TBR right now. It's quite large for someone who reads as much as I do. It would take probably an entire year, and look at, I have Chunky the Pyro of the Orange Tree. I do have a couple of more diverse kind of texts. So I have a manga that I bought the other day. I am going to be doing a book haul soon after Christmas because I want to, and I've hauled things, even though in my last haul I was like, I'm right till Christmas. I bought stuff already. And I do have another 2 graphic novels then that I have bought recently. So those kind of things are going to help a bit more with my numbers. Not that I'm super caring about numbers in this season of my life, but they will help with my sense of achievement to balance out some of the other really big books that I'm reading as well. Basically, I've just decided to accept that if I'm wanting to be a mood reader and I'm still wanting to buy books, then I'm going to have a I don't know what number to call it because it's really up to the person. I'm not going to have a Zero TBR, I suppose is the best way to say it. My idea after I had finished my TBR, or when I was nearly finishing my TBR, I was thinking that I was going to buy about 4 books at a time, read them down, get to zero, then pick a reread, and while I'm waiting for the other books to arrive. But I've since found rereading an odd experience for me. I don't often enjoy it, even books that I have really loved. I've tried rereading them recently, and for whatever reason I just haven't enjoyed it. I have picked it up in that spur of the moment mood that I was in, and then I would read a bit and then go, okay, I'm done, that's fulfilled what I wanted it to be. I didn't think that I was going to find rereading weird. So far the main book series that I can reread consistency is Harry Potter. I don't know why. I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like trying to reread Twilight and seeing how it's going. And I also felt like reading Aragon and stuff, so I'm not really sure because I thought that I'd read books that I had enough distance in between, but I just wasn't really into it. Going forward, I'm just going to keep purchasing books as I want them to. I feel like I have enough trust in my mental state in that when I really feel like buying books has gotten detrimental again, then I will stop. But I can't tell you guys when that's going to be. It's not some magic number, but I do feel a lot better than I did at the 6-month mark, because I think I had a lot of books on my TBR then that I wasn't really into. I didn't go back, to be honest, and watch my TBR video then, but I do remember feeling very much like I'd taken in a lot of books that I wasn't into, I wasn't feeling up to it, and that I kind of said yes on whims again. And that's been a flaw even when I had a massive TBR as well. And there's a lot of unhauls that I did because I just took in books because I'd heard about them but I wasn't interested super in them, or someone had given them to me because they heard that I liked reading. I don't know whether that is the same for a lot of you guys who read a lot as well, but as soon as people who are non-readers or read like very, very casually find out that you read, they then just want to give you any book as if like you would like any book. And it's not necessarily, it's not a bad thing, it comes from a kind perspective, but it kind of frustrates me, particularly someone who wants less clutter in my life. If you want to know what to get me, let me know and I will get you a list. But I'm also learning to be a little bit better at saying no thanks to people. I can people please a lot, and that was really difficult when people would offer me books and I should have just said no thanks, it's not the kind of genre that I like to read. You know, it could be easy to be like, oh no, I just read fantasy, no thanks.
Hey guys, I just want to interject here as well that it's not like I can't get books that I don't want as a gift, because this one here, The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams, I didn't request this one, but my uncle actually gave it to me for a Secret Santa. The difference is though, is that he actually pays attention to what I'm interested with. This book is a historical fiction with themes of women's rights, and just basically by paying attention to what I do on Facebook and just by talking to me in general as a person, he knew to pick this for me, and I'm absolutely loving it. What frustrates me is people giving me books or offering books just because they know that I'm a reader but without actually putting any thought behind it. And I guess, I don't know, I don't want to be ungrateful, because again, that's something that I'm putting on them where they're just offering, so I need to be better at saying no thanks. And right now I can also say my TBR is too big to take in any other books. I don't even have to say that I'm not interested, I can just say that I don't need any more books.
If someone gifted me something for my birthday, I wouldn't, or for Christmas, I wouldn't say no, I don't want to read that. I would probably keep it, do some research, see if I'm interested, maybe get rid of it if I don't think I'm going to, or maybe read like the first chapter and DNF it like I would with anything else. But if someone is just cleaning out their storage and just goes, hey, I found these books, do you want them? I'd probably have a bit more of a look and be like, oh, you know, no thanks or thanks or whatever. So I'm getting a bit better at that, and thus my TBR looks amazing. It looks so good. I'm so excited about pretty much every book on this TBR. It does fluctuate a little bit. I do have a family history that, depending on the mood I'm in, sometimes I'm excited, sometimes I'm not, but everything else looks mint. So good, and I'm really excited for them. The key to this is to be in control a lot more in the books that I intake. Since my TBR is all books that I have picked out myself, I'm really excited about them. And hey, if I don't read something in 6 months and it no longer looks appealing, then it's cool. I can unhaul it and I'm not going to worry about that so much. Maybe, I don't know. I still think like, I always wondered what our financial situation is going to be like with kids, and we have one kid right now. I'm on maternity leave. Things are going okay finance, well, they're still going pretty good in comparison, you know, finance wise. I wondered though what I was going to be like if I had less disposable income. But I put money away from books for books, and if I really can't buy something then I don't, but often I have enough of a surplus because I read slowly. That's another thing that I did a video which was called How Am I Going to Afford Books When My TBR is Zero, because I took it for granted that I just had new books all the time. And one of the things that I didn't mention in that video, I'll link it down below in case you're interested as well, there's some good tips on how to afford books, but I forgot to mention that I read slowly. So I am therefore not needing to buy them as often, and that's a very helpful thing, and something that probably doesn't get talked about as much on BookTube. But for me, I can intake a lot of books in probably what seems like a short amount of time when I do a haul or something like that, but I don't read very often. I read generally every day unless something's going on. I read a very short amount of time every day. So if I actually don't have any money to buy any more books, I can wait, and I've still got plenty of books here. Just a lot of acceptance, I think, is the main thing to come to this point in my emotions and in my TBR journey. A lot of acceptance of the way that things are. I don't have to have a zero TBR. If I want to have a lot of books, I can. I really don't want to get back up to 200 books, but if that's what makes you happy, then that's cool. And I think it's just about finding what makes me happy. Now, I don't necessarily want to fill an entire shelf again with TBR books. I'm quite happy to have this little stack here, and I will see how I go. This might be something that is continuing to evolve as my emotions evolve and change over the years, but at the moment I'm really happy. Oh, that's another point too about things, and the fact that I don't think, provided I continue to intake books that I choose to and that I'm excited about at the time, aside from the fact that I may DNF some because you just can't tell that you're going to love every book, I don't think, now that I am 27, wow, now that I'm 27, I don't think that my tastes are going to change as vastly as they did when I was young. When I was trying to get my zero TBR down, I had a lot of books that I purchased in my middle teens, early teens, that the quality wasn't as good to my adult brain. But now that I am, like, I know that your brains are all, like, that your brains, I know that your brain is always evolving and developing as long as you are wanting to evolve and develop it. But I feel like stuff that I enjoy now, I'm still probably going to enjoy in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's more that over time, my reading evolving is that I'm going to enjoy even more genres. Whereas I feel like in the past, I loved YA back then, and now I've just kind of gone up to adult fantasy instead of YA fantasy, and so the amount of things that I've loved, the number of things hasn't increased, but I think that it will more than anything. So there we go. I'm feeling a lot more happier and at peace, and I'm so excited for my reading life. Thanks everybody so much for watching my channel again. I hope you guys have a great November and December. We will chat again, still doing a video once a week, but it's getting to the fun time of the year. I'm not going to be doing any goals videos until the year is over because I like to finish at the end of the year. So I will be doing all those things, but they're going to be fun. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!